the Cottage Speedway and leading the rookie point standings for the former ASCS Gold Summer Champion. It's TJ's Blue Shot, Frankie's Cleaners, Murray and Sons, Ralph and Terry Reds, Motor Mike Howard, Triple X entry, the 21-year-old out of Blue, Texas. Welcome, Aaron Reitzel.
So we're number 2 of the inside, the number 22 car, now calling Medford home, the Linder powder coating, Shark Racing Engines, Cascade Fire Equipment, big special thanks to Mike Groves of the Mike Sprint Center. It is the number 22 Maxim chassis of Garrett Linder. On the outside of Linder, it's the 2-time Golden State Challenge champion. The Father Race Ready Reynolds, Village Green Resort, Jimmy Sills Driving School, Bell Racing Engines, J&J Chassis, and the Ron Father number 64. Let's welcome from Chico, California, J. Jonathan Allard.
Row number 3, the inside, the youngest driver in the field at just 15 years of age. Comes into the night 4th in the Northwest Region points. He was 4th in our Speedway points. It's the Starks Timber Processing, Starks Brothers Logging, TNC Concepts, Blue Dot Fabrication, Shaver Power Exchange, out of Puyallup, Washington. We call him Kid
ASCS Northwest Region champ from Everett, Washington, the Bandit, Jamie Barnes. On the outside of Barnes, it's the 2-time and defending ASCS National Tour champion. The number 41 car from Eunice, Louisiana, the Haynes of Australia, home properties, law offices of Richard Scruggs, Dawn powered Maxim chassis. That is the Raging Cajun, Jason Johnson. Rounding up the field, the 5H entry, the car from Sacramento, California, the Harley Van Dyke, phone number 5H, Lucas Oil Products, Rolling Hills Casino, Blue Shield of California, Orange Orange, Rogers Racing Engines, ART Chassis, from Princeton, California, it's prime time, Mason Moore.
Thank you, Ben. On a gorgeous night, we're set to go, folks. 9 cars for 10 laps. This is heat race number 1. Johnny Herrera, Aaron Reitzel, front row. Here we go. Johnson and Jamie Barnes and Mason Moore. So we'll try it again as they move slowly. Someone look back. Folks, 7 down, 3 to go. Single file outside the cove. Can't pass anybody until they get there.
Budweiser.com, Gary Racing Engines, Maxim Chassis from Liberal, Kansas, TBJ, Tony Bruce Jr. On the outside of him, it's going to be the number 57 car, the current point leader and former National Series champion, the Rockstar Energy Drink, Makita Power Tools, ProBuilt Construction, Bentley Farms, Lucas Oil Products, Westmar Powered ART Chassis from Bixby, Oklahoma, Paul Silva, the car owner of the number 57 of Shane 410. Shane's
unbelievable starts to the lineups. This might be the toughest of the 4 heat races. Inside row number 3, the 9 car. Just his second visit to the Cottage Grove Speedway, coming into the night 5th in points for the 4-time ASCS national champion and the winningest driver in the history of the series with a 27 career victories. It's going to the defending Cottage Grove Sprint Nationals champion, driving the Panhand's Eyewear, Oilfield Equipment and Manufacturing, Telstar Communications, Village Green Resort, Westmar Powered Triple X, out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Brady Macon.
To the 4th and final row, the number 38 car picked up the Speedway victory here from Knoxville, Iowa, formerly from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The Brian Subio, number 38, the champion oil sponsored Parker Engines Maxim Chassis of Wayne Johnson. On the outside of him, the 2011 Speedway champion in the Finley Farm Zone, number 77 car from Elk Grove, California. That's Kyle Larson. Tim Crawley, Shane 14.
Tim Crowley, Shane Forte, front row, we will try to get great Here comes Shane Stewart.
Stewart starting the 4th spot now to 2nd.
ACS national champion, driving Randy Washburn's Telflexus Engineering, Just Joe's Trucking, J&J, and hi to all the guys listening back home at the shop in Jetmore, Kansas. The car is out of Jetmore, Kansas. The driver from Coloma, Oklahoma, Zach Champel. Right beside him, it's the 10J, for Cottage Grove Limited Sprint champion, the Wild Motorsports, Cedar Red Midland Event Center. Rocket Designs, Triple X. Out of Roseburg, Jake the Snake Woodell.
Going to row number 2 on the inside, it is going to be the 23B, the Ton's Autobody. Hedge Carter Continuous Gutter Service, Steelhouse Motoring Roofing Supply, Ton's Cottage Grove Yamaha, Drummond Automotive Powered Maxim Chassis, Holland, Colin Baker. On the outside of him, it's the 7-time Cottage Grove Speedway 360s brake track champion, the Ton's Autobody. Harley Smith Auto Repair, Body Works Salon, wall-to-wall carpet cleaning. Chamber Specialty Power, number 41, Clark, Cotton Grove, Updale Smith.
Row 3, inside, the former Northwest Region champion, the current holding of the Speedway points. It's the unlimited fire protection and security Rocket Designs, Black Rocket Motorsports, Ostrich Powered, KPC entry out of Medford, Roger Crockett. And right beside him, the 8RC out of Snohomish, Washington, leader our rookie points race in the Northwest. That is Jason Kake.
Row number 4 to the inside, currently second in the point standings at the Grace Harbor Raceway, the 98M. That's the Olsen Brothers Excavating, SC Fuels, PMI, Truck Body, Shark Power, KPC Chassis from Tacoma, Washington. That is Mitch Olsen on the outside. That's the 23, the Peterson Motorsports owned Superior Marine, Speedway, Porter Electric, Cardinal Graphics, Westmark Power Eagle Chassis for the former Grace Harbor Raceway track champion and currently 7th in the point standings with the National Series. That is Seth Bergman from Snohomish, Washington. Travis Jacobson and the Mike Anderson own number 18 car, rounding up the field. The Truck Racing Engine Performance RC. He raced number 3.
He had a tough night last year on Friday night. Hopefully can bounce back either later tonight or tomorrow. All right, complete restart. The front row now looks a little different. Colin Baker and Jake Wardell, a couple of your local stars. In fact, you've got 4 regulars here at Cottage Grove Speedway. Driver in the field at 15 from Everett, Washington is Tyler Anderson, the 33B, second in Northwest Region points from Neil Washington. That's the 3D. Nate Morlock, Tim Cady, Henry Van Dam, and the guy we call the vacuum, Brent Hoover. Single file, Rob Held, the right foot goes down, Norris goes up.
Coming up next is going to be Roger Crockett, the number 11 from Medford. It's a 7 for Crockett, 4th row inside. Coming up next, the 10J of Jake Waddell from Roseburg. Outside pole for the 10J of Jake Waddell, getting the number 2. Still a one available is the 64 of Jonathan Allard. Is up next. And it's Allard going to complete the front row, starting on the pole position with number 64. Shane Stewart, your current National Series point leader, next to draw the 57. And it's an 8 for Stewart. That'll be 4th row outside. Johnny Herrera from Albuquerque, New Mexico on the 45X. Next to draw. And Herrera will start on the outside of the 2nd row, grabbing the 4-pill. Tim Crawley from Benton, Arkansas.
They actually draw a rock star.
6 for Crawley, 3rd row outside, leaving the 68 of Rob Held from Sutherland.
Number on the bottom, yeah. They picked the rock star can on the table there. The rock star can has a number on it.
That'll be the 3 for Held in the 68 car. We apologize once again, having some technical difficulties here, so it will be the 64 and the 10J on the front row.
Scheduled the number 13 car, Chad Nolan, Central Point, Oregon. He is on the racetrack and scheduled to start beside him. I do not see him out there. Looked like they lost an engine earlier tonight. What a heartbreaker for the former national champion, the car out of Jetmore, Kansas, the driver from Tulala, Oklahoma, Zach Chappell. We do not see the Randy Washburn 0 car on the track as we speak. And bringing up the rear, the 2L, second in rookie points in the National Series and 11th overall. Originally out of Boarding, Washington, now makes his home in beautiful Lake Havasu City, Arizona. That is Leadfoot Logan Fuller. And the 45 car accident in Pine Laps earlier tonight, Brett McGrath. He is a scratch. And it looks like Chappell is as well. So that should give us 16 cars for 15 laps. The B feature, the top 6, get a ticket to the big dance. Traffic lights are on. We should go green, just like in that memorable Seinfeld episode. 26 transfer. Then it's Barnes, Conkey, Fuller, Hoover, Bruce, Moore, and Henderson. Green flag Williams. You wouldn't know it, but this is his first ever visit to the Pacific Northwest and the Cottage Grove.
From Tacoma, Washington, in the 98 entry, starting in 11th place position, that is Mitch Olsen.
To the starting top 10, the number 38 car, the amazing recovery from the terrible leg injury at Elma 1 year ago. What a week. 2 weeks ago, 3 ASCS wins in 3 different states, Minnesota, South Dakota, and right here in Cottage Grove for the former national champion, originally from Oklahoma City, now living in Knoxville, Iowa, Wayne Johnson. And on the inside, starting 9th, the number 9 car, 5th in national points, just his 2nd visit here for one of the all-time great sprint car drivers ever, the 4-time national champion, the winningest driver in the history of the series with 127 feature wins. He even ran a NASCAR Winston Cup race at Pocono. Out of Hooks, Texas, the Texan, Gary Wright.
To row number 4, the 8th starting place position, the current series point leader and former national champion, the number 57 from Bixby, Oklahoma, that is Shane Stewart. To row number 4 on the inside, starting in the 7th place position, former ASCS regional champion, the number 11 car from Medford, it's the Rocket, Roger Crockett.
Row number 3, the outside, the number 88 car, 3rd in the Speedway race here a couple of weeks ago, coming into the night 4th in points for the 3-time national champion, 42 career wins, number 3 all-time from Benton, Arkansas. They call him the Crawdaddy. There he is, Tim Curley. And on the inside of row 3, the number 41 car. 2 wins in 4 starts here at the Cottage Grove Speedway. He won in 2009 on Saturday night. He won last year on Friday night for the 2-time and defending series champion with 50 career wins. That's number 2 all-time. Out of Eunice, Louisiana, the Raging Cajun Double J, Jason Johnson.
To row number 2 on the outside, starting in the 4th place position, the 45X, the former champion at the Knoxville Raceway. They call him Hollywood. It's Johnny Herrera. On the inside of Herrera, starting in the 3rd place position, the number 68 car from Sutherland, that is Rob Held.
And finally, to the front row, on the outside, what a story it would be for the young man from just down the I-5, the former limited sprint champ, the 10J from Roseburg, Jake the Snake Waddell. And on the pole, you're used to seeing him in the 0 car, dominate Form 10 racing up and down the West Coast, one of the all-time greats to come out of the Golden State of California. He is a former Silver Dollar Speedway track champion. He's the defending Trophy Cup champion. He won $20,000 for that last year. 2-time Golden State champ, and now a 3-time Jim Raper Memorial Super Dirt Cup champion. He won $40,000 for that. And if you're wondering, yes, he does have an ASCS victory with the Northwest region, a Speedway race in Medford back in 2008. And he loves coming to Cottage Grove. He won the 410 race here in June. On the pole, driving this weekend for Rod Farmer, the number 64 from Chico, California, Jonathan Allard. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is your starting lineup tonight's feature race is next, and Ben Dethridge, it is a nice combination of national stars, Northwest Region stars, Cottage Grove Speedway regulars, and some outsiders from the Golden State.
Definitely is
For the prize money.
Definitely, it is so important to get the work done here on the first night to where you can not necessarily rest and relax, but go in without risking your equipment through the heat races and the consolation races tomorrow.
So, again, it'll be 23 cars scheduled for 30 laps, $3,000 to win, $1,600 for second, $1,200 for third, $300 just to start this one here tonight. And again, tomorrow night it'll be 35 laps and $6,000 to win. Again, coming into this race, Shane Stewart, the 57 car, an 86-point lead in the national standings over Johnny Herrera. Jeff Swindell sits third, Tim Crawley is fourth, and Gary Wright is fifth. As far as the Northwest region goes, it's Roger Crockett with a 66-point advantage on Henry Van Dam, Seth Bergman, Trey Starks, and Mitch Olson. So we'll see what shakes down here tonight. Lap traffic, always a factor on the bull rings, but I'll tell you, always a top groove, always a bottom groove, and pretty much always smooth around this track. It's a real credit to, again, Brian Crockett, to Heath Shelton, to all the track crew that worked so hard here to get it this way on a regular basis. And we look forward to this one as we hope you do. Again, whether you're listening all around the world or you're in attendance here tonight at the Cottage Grove Speedway. And as we say, friends and family of these competitors, sponsors tuning in all over North America. Jason Johnson's always got a large contingent down under in Australia as well. So we invite you to pick out a favorite, cheer them on. It's like all the cars have fired. Yes, and we mentioned Jason Johnson, as Scott touched on earlier in the night, racing with a heavy heart tonight with the recent loss of David Pope, Pope Properties, Pope Refrigerated Transportation, long supporter of Jason. Well, as we said, my traffic always a factor here, and sometimes it is these guys have no breaks as to rest, that is. Really is a split action racetrack where with the slide and all three and a great night already for the local drivers, folks. And again, it is Jonathan Allard and Jake Waddell, row 1. Rob Held and Johnny Herrera, row 2. Jason Johnson and Tim Crowley, row 3. Roger Crockett and Shane Stewart, row 4. Gary Wright and Wayne Johnson, row number 5. That's Mitch Olson and Jeff Swindell. Dale Smith and Nate Morlock. Seth Bergman and Tim Kading. Aaron Reitzel and Kyle Larson. Henry Van Dam and Brady Bacon. Trey Starks. Gary Linder, and taking the provisional starting spot, starting 23rd, the 2L of Logan Fuller. So what's going through the minds right now of Jake Waddell starting second and Rob Held starting third? Well, we could only wonder. Well, race fans, make a little noise. There is your starting lineup for tonight's feature lane events. And the cameras of Lucas Oil Productions and Versus TV capturing it all. And tomorrow night we'll have a special 3-wide salute to you. 23 cars for 30 laps and $3,000 to win, which means it's time to batten down the hatches. Somebody quickly lock the door. Things are going to get wild. Jonathan Allard, Jake Waddell, front row. Here we go. So it's Herrera, Allard, Johnson, Crawley, Waddell, your top five. Herrera will lead the field, single file, back to green. This train, and we again are green flag racing in Cottage, Oregon. To go sign. You can see the laps tick down on the Coors Light Racing scoreboard. Coors and Coors Light for sponsoring the third annual National. Johnny Herrera, again your leader. Roger Crockett, Wayne Johnson, Shane Stewart, your top 5. Green flag. Gary Rice, 8. Jeff Swindell is 9. Dale Smith, your top 10. 17 to go. 13 to go. Night number 1, third annual Cottage Grove Sprint Nationals.